Last year, one of the many companies that decided to wade deep, waist deep, nuts deep in some situations, into the whole pride grooming nonsense in June of 2023, one of the big players in this space was the North Face, the outdoor clothing brand that decided it would be a great idea to draft drag queens to market their product. It made absolutely no sense. And hiring Patagonia tried to tell kids to come out. Yay, freaky groomers. But that's what they were doing. They got appropriately lambasted back in the cut. I remember making a couple of videos on it because it was exceptionally creepy and an overt example of, wow, remember when they said it was just a joke that we're coming for your kids? Well, much for that whole veneer of it being a joke, because they would continue to double down on that approach later this year. But what are they going to do? 2024 is a new year. There's a new set of problems plaguing society. So how is the North Face going to tackle this upcoming season? Well, by just simply pivoting away from all of the pride nonsense and then just going to straight out racism. Oh boy. Gen Z approved clothing giant, the North Face. Gen Z approved? I just always associated it with just valley girls with too much money and a love for puffy jackets, but okay. Clothing giant, the North Face, is offering customers 20% off if they admit that they're racist. Sorry, what? Yeah, this is a real thing. I've seen the clickbait thumbnails. I've seen the headlines of this stuff, and it's like, this is too stupid to believe. I got to do some research, and guess what? That's true. The North Face was once a simple one-stop shop for hiking gear, but today, having upped its TikTok game, it's more likely to spot a Gen Z urbanite spotting a puffer jacket than a countryside trekker. Yeah, because North Face, its quality has been surpassed years ago, but okay, cool. Now the North Face is aiming to for further approval from a socially conscious cohort by offering customers 20% off if they take a racial inclusion course. What the hell, man? So CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, ding. In 2017 or something like that, he gave this famous speech, and anybody who wants to bring up my ESG, my social governance scores, always references by saying that we need to force certain behaviors onto companies in order to make them to comply. But now the North Face is apparently taking that literally by trying to force behaviors onto their end users. A 1 hour long course called Allyship in the Outdoors. What, you talk about gay bears or something like that? Like, I thought that was just a Baldur's Gate 3 thing, but all right. Begins by inviting customers to ask themselves, how many people of color does it take to change oh no, do you see on the slopes, on the hills, or on the trails? I don't know. If I'm on the slopes, that's kind of racist in and of itself, or on the hills or on the trails. Somebody who spends a disproportionate amount of time outside, I don't pay attention to anybody else who's out there. I'll keep it a buck. I don't care about this stuff, but this is these people ideological worldview, and they can't see anything about an individual besides their immutable characteristics. Later in the module, white customers are told that the great outdoors isn't so great for people of color. Unbelievable. You know, that place that people lived and thrived in for hundreds of thousands, millions of years? Yeah, it's disproportionately affected minorities. What are you talking about? Privilege can give us access to the outdoors. No, outdoors gives us access to the outdoors. What are you talking about? In this particular context, we refer to white privilege, meaning that your race and skin color gives you access to the outdoors when others can be excluded because of historic enduring racism and bias. What's an example? I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, it makes no sense. Normally I can engage in the hypothetical by going, I can kind of see where they're coming from, even if I fervently disagree. It's just this right here. Like, I don't know, are you deciding to tour a cotton field and that might end up being a little bit too traumatic for some oversensitive people? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're trying to leverage? Through 4 interactive modules, the course promises to help you be a better ally and to make the outdoors a safer and more welcoming place for everyone. By the sheer nature of, nature, it's kind of inclusive. It asks you to come engage with it, regardless of where you're at. But okay, let's sum up what you've heard in the stories. Privilege can give us access to the outdoors. 2 feet and a heartbeat? Is that what we're talking about, privilege? That means some people can enjoy advantages for their inherit from their birth or accumulate over time. What are you talking about? For example, aspects of identity can give privilege relate to race, religion, gender, wealth, sexual orientation. How does that even work, man? Like there's just two gay guys that go on a hike, but then they see two cross the branches and then they just get too turned on that they can't even proceed any further down the track. I don't understand that. Ability or citizenship. Yo, man, illegal immigrants, they go through a hell of a lot of outdoors in order for citizenship status to go ahead and affect their relationship with the outdoors. So I don't know what we're talking about here. In the particular context, we refer to white privilege, meaning that your race and skin. Okay, so what if we have an illegal immigrant coming over from like Sweden or Norway or something like that? How would white privilege affect them? Okay, meaning that your race and skin color gives you access to the outdoors. It's so dumb. Another portion of the training instructs participants on how to handle accusations of being too woke on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fashion company. This is an outdoors wear company talking about how you can fight trolls online about being too woke on social media, telling them to file formal complaints to their bosses. You're creating Karens to sell an overpriced puffer jacket. Okay, and respond to the comment with calm authority in line of, I'm going to be on the right side of history. The organization's policy and guidelines on hate speech and racism. Hey, you're being insufferably woke. That's hate speech. Sorry, what? In the end, those who answer all the multiple choice questions on allyship, bias, and privilege correctly are rewarded with a handy discount voucher. I'd imagine that just before this launched, all the prices at the North Face just went up 20%. To thank you for being an ally and completing the course, the North Face is pleased to offer you a one-off 20% discount. Fantastic. The same type of coupon code that just a cursory amount of research online can go ahead and produce for you without wasting an hour of your time. Holy crap. A good question by Fortune here. Why is the North Face running a racial inclusion course? I don't know. We'll probably take a look at their DEI board and then just go, oh, that makes sense. The outdoor clothing giant quietly launched a training program to help foster a more equitable countryside, according to the website. The nearly 60-year-old American retailer pointed to a 2017 study which found that just 26.2% of black people and 25.7% of Asian people spend time in the countryside compared to 44.2% of white people in England. In England! What are we doing? People of color are less likely to go climbing, hiking, skiing, snowboarding, and trail running. Well, you don't even have a majority of white people out there enjoying the countryside, okay? You have just about 75% of Asians who are feeling more fulfilled by doing, I don't know, math or office work. And then despite making up 100% of the bitching, only 26.2% of black people make up the amount of people out in the countryside. Very strange. People of color, yes, less likely, and 3 times more likely than white people to live in an area that is nature deprived. Yeah, living in cities. Imagine that. You can't go out into the forest when you can't go and see the trees. Big shock on that. Although this experience is nothing new for ethnic minorities, corporations have been publishing diversity and inclusion pledges in the wake of the Summer of Love in 2020. What do we have here? North Face faces criticism of woke capitalism. Yeah, very much so. Once again, we are. Incentivizing inclusion may go down with the progressive youth of today. Does it really? Or did they just go, that's gay? However, right-wing commentators are calling to boycott the brand on social media using the hashtag boycott North Face. Yeah, they were doing the same thing back in the cut last year. I just boycott them because it's just overpriced trash. You can get a puffer jacket for half the price, but I guess you don't get the logo on it. And one that'll actually keep you warm instead of just looking trendy. I remember about a decade ago when they were actually high quality jackets. They had the down filling and they were rated to like 30 or 40 below. They used to be of high quality, but now you don't have to worry about that, okay? You can sell it for a premium and idiots are going to buy them and they'll feel good about themselves, but whatever. Popular post on X, James S's, a trainee therapist, is expelled from a university course for expressing gender-critical beliefs, slams the program as woke capitalism at its worst. Yeah, exactly. Because you're incentivizing the brainwashing of, you could just take a look at those numbers, right? 44.2% of English people are going out into the countryside. So you're taking your biggest demographic that's out there and theoretically telling them that they're bad for a nominal discount. All right, then. Retailer The North Face is offering 20% if you complete their digital course in racial inclusion. Customers are told that white privilege grants them access to the outdoors. Yeah, we read through all this stuff. Every time you think identity politics has hit peak lunacy, something happens to take it to the next level. Liverpoolian. The Liverpoolian, okay, the Liverpool-based political magazine, commented on the post, segregation and blatant discrimination is the new progress. Somebody should be sacked for this. You would think that would likely be the case, but The North Face managed to go ahead and shirk off any of their damage from 2023, and Lord only knows, we're about a couple of months away. We'll see if Patagonia gets another check cut after getting all that interaction. That's just 1 million on that post that I have not seen until I used it for this article or for this video right here. Because even in the age of woke, any publicity is good publicity, and if you can go ahead and just stay below the boiling point when it comes to outrage, you don't quite become Bud Light, but you get a similar amount of engagement. That's great for these companies who are making their brand all about pandering to those ideological weirdos that have far too much disposable cash. So it works for them. The best thing that you can do moving forward is just look at it, mock it, and don't support any of this bullshit. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.